And good morning. Hope everyone's having a blessed morning. I am having a blessed morning on this blessing Sunday. On this blessing Sunday, I'm having a blessed morning. So we definitely going to get into this topic. And I ran into this topic because I was strolling. Basically, I was strolling. And I thought that this topic was very informative and something to talk about Joe, right? Joseph Joe, that did 68 years in these plantations and concentration camps called prison, right? And he got locked up at the age of 15, back in 1953, You can look inside my thumbnail, you can see a picture of him. And then on the bottom, you can see a little boy eye looking through a little hole that's inside the prison cell. I can't stress this enough. And this was back then where they didn't have TVs. They didn't have what they had right now, where they make it real comfortable for you to keep coming back. Where they got internet, they got a TV in there now, they got game systems, they got clothes where you can just buy clothes, you can get books. I think you can get Walkmans or CD players. I don't know. You can search on the internet. I think that you can even post up, have Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Guys are getting phones in there. So it's becoming more modernized now where that you can come back. The same thing that you were doing on the street, you can do inside there, but you just locked up. This is actually true fact, man. And I want individuals to understand that, because back then those conditions was very, very harsh. And racism and setting people up back then was so easy and people can get away with it. He was 15 years old and he got convicted of killing 2 people. Something that to this day that he said that he didn't do. Something that he said that he did not do, but he was convicted, right, of an all-white juror that convicted him for life. And he spent 68 years in prison, in these plantations, in these jails. You understand what I'm saying? The conditions back then was very, very harsh back then. Racism was an all-time high. That he got locked up way before Malcolm X and way before Martin Luther King got assassinated. He got locked up way before the Black Panther Party was organized. The man's whole life is gone. He came out in 2021, I think, and he's 83 years old. And I'm going to share a clipping with y'all, actually an interview with him. He's going to basically, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm watching it just like you watching it. I haven't seen it yet, I thought that it was really, really important for me to share it with you so we can get the experience together, instead of me just watching it and you just watching it and me trying to explain what he's talking about. So we're going to dive into this video together. And this is really, really important, to all of the youth out there that's committing crime. I want you to think about your life before you get in the car and spin the block, before you throw that hoodie on and the shiesty and the ski mask to commit robberies and commit murder. I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about if you can do 68 years to life in prison. And then also, if you can't visualize that, just think about being somewhere that you know that your mother gonna die, your father gonna die, right? Your children or your baby mother, whatever's going on, these people gonna be dead and you're gonna be hit with life. You understand what I'm saying? I want you to think about that before you start calling each other ops, right? And before you pick up a gun to be laying people down, meaning murder people, right? The indigenous descendants. I want you to think about this. I want you to think how serious the decision that you will be making. Once you do that, there's no turning back. And just like this gentleman, that was wrongly convicted of double homicide back in Pennsylvania, because that's where he did his time at. Nowadays, it's the same thing that go on, but it's modernized. You being convicted of crime, just something that you didn't do. It's been modernized now. It's not like back then where they had all these computers. They didn't have no computers like that. They didn't have none of this technology the way they have now. But that if you are convicted of a crime, something that you didn't do, basically they can see and tell that you didn't do this crime. Back then, it was word of mouth. Back then, the system was different. Back then, you was the target, and you still the target. It's just modernized now. And I need for you to understand that, right? I need for you to understand that. Even before I get into this video, I want you to think about you picking up that gun or picking up drugs or getting that car, spinning the block, wearing your hoodie and your push shiesties and your ski matches, about to commit murder or robbery or stabbing. Because at the end of the day, the middle of the day, the beginning of the day, they're going to hunt you down and they're going to give you a lot of time out of your life for doing these acts. I'm just letting you know that. I'm just letting you know that. So ask yourself, can you do 68 years? Can you do life? And if the answer is no, anyone that's inside of this group or whoever they are, pick up and leave and get your life together. You understand what I'm saying? Now, is all those going to hear to this message? A lot of people's not going to hear to this message because they still want to do these acts. And this murder, death, killed by Bevic Devil Demon has a hold on them. Has a hold on their mind, body, and soul. So this is really, really important. But if I can save one of you, I have did my job as your uncle, as your brother, as a spiritual leader, a spiritual guider, a person that can give you a formative information that's going to lead you to the life where you want to be. And the life that you want to be is to do what? To worship the Alpha Omega, the created everything in existence, the Almighty. It's only one. It's only one. So that he can triple your bag. So that he can triple your bag. So that he can triple your bag. That's right. As darkness overspread us. I want you to look at this. Do not fall into the trap. Do not fall into the trap. You understand what I'm saying? I need for you to understand that. And this is to all my young brothers out there, all my young bulls, all my nieces and all my nephews. That's what I'm going to call you, all my nieces and all my nephews. I want you to look at this. Look at your life before you do these acts. Just think to yourself, can you do 68 years? This man did 68 years. He was 15 years old. From 1953 to 2021. He's 83 years old, and whatever, I can't imagine the conditions and the survival mode, how he had to live up until this point. This is an actual true fact. That was wrongly convicted and lied upon of killing people at the age of 15. He maintained his innocence, and that is rare. That is rare. A person that did 68 years, that's rare. That is very rare. As a juvenile. And these are the conditions and these are the laws that's set upon you and upon our children. So think before you make what? Before you make a move to ruin your life, to ruin your free will, to ruin you being free out here in society and making it happen. Have emotional movement about yourself, your family, and your loved ones, and your boys. Be the example. Find the illusion. It don't have to be with drugs and guns. It could be something productive. It could be something that can benefit mankind. You have it inside you. You are a scientist. You are a chemist. You are a inventor. You are a what? You are the descendant of the ancient ancestors, and you are the descendant of Abel. That's an actual true fact that can bridge the gap between this life and the next, meaning the future. You got it. So don't be tricked. Don't be hoodwinked. Don't be deceived. You understand? Use your God-given gifts and talents to what? To rise yourself up. Your family and your crew, man. It's easy. I know it's easy. I know, well, yeah, it's easy. You can do it. But I also know that, in the same token, flip of that, I know it's not easy. That you are up against and you are facing different demons. But these demons are all the same demons. This sick, barbaric devil demon, it's the same. He just using modernized technology and modernized certain things to do what? To get you to be an organ donor. To get you to be cremated. To get you in these plantations, in these jails, in these concentration camps. So you can be hit with 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, life ultimately. And you being an organ donor or you being in a wheelchair. This is exactly its aim. And you are the target. So don't let yourself slip into that. You understand what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's look at this this video. Just look at this interview. Cause I want to look at this interview. You know, it's very interesting, and I want to share with you. I'm learning just like you. Learning just like you.
The U.S. has long led the world in the number of children sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And one state, Pennsylvania, has put more juveniles behind bars for life than anywhere else in the country. Of those people, Joe Ligon has the tragic distinction of being the oldest and longest-serving juvenile lifer in the country. He was recently released from a Pennsylvania prison after 68 years. CBS This Morning Saturday co-host Michelle Miller spoke with Ligon in his first television interview since his release. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. Joe Ligon was released from prison back in February after a series of U.S. Supreme Court decisions found that those mandatory life without parole sentences for juveniles were unconstitutional. This highlights the issues of over-sentencing in America's criminal justice system. And for Ligon, now a free man, he's entering a world, a modern world, he barely knows. What was the first thing you did as a free man?
I almost cried, okay, but I broke down with a big smile on my face. A free man, free at last.
83-year-old Joe Ligon was released from prison last month after serving nearly 7 decades for crimes he committed when he was 15. Ligon, the son of Alabama sharecroppers, was incarcerated when Dwight D. Eisenhower was president.
Good evening, my fellow Americans.
And Nat King Cole's Pretend was on the music charts.
Yeah, those buses there, they didn't exist when I was going to have street cars. Yeah.
He returns to a changed world.
I looked at it and seen all these high buildings, but I expect to see that. They locked me up, they did. They didn't lock my mind up.
In 1953, Ligon and 4 other black teenagers were involved in an alcohol-fueled spree of robberies and stabbings in Philadelphia. 2 people died. What were you guilty of?
I was guilty with being at the wrong place at the wrong time. It wasn't with the intention of hurting nobody. I didn't murder anybody.
There are people out there who are going to watch, and they're going to say, he stabbed someone. He committed a crime. You say to them what?
I'm sorry that I committed a crime. I'm sorry that someone was murdered. I'm sorry about that.
Ligon concedes he did stab someone that night, but maintains he didn't kill anyone. He says he's a changed man. Did you feel remorse for what you did?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I had to feel remorse.
The teenagers were tried together.
It was a city hall.
When you were tried?
Yeah, that's what they told me.
They pleaded guilty and were convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with no chance of ever getting out.
This is the habeas petition I filed.
Public defender Bradley Bridge has represented Ligon for more than 15 years.
I sensed there was an injustice. I felt compelled to do.
So, initially, that was my first time. That was my first time of hearing him. That was my first time of hearing him, right? So that was my first time looking at it, and I know that was your first time looking at it. So, he did commit a crime. He stabbed somebody, but he said he didn't kill somebody. You know, at that age, you don't know. It only take one stab, and you can kill somebody. So they all was convicted, and she said they all copped out, and basically they got life without no possibility of parole. So, you know, that was back then. Things has changed now. Things been modified now. But that's not the point that I'm getting at. The point that I'm getting at is, can you do 68 years? Can you do 68 years? Can you do life in prison? In these plantations? Most people, they could, because you know why? It's comfortable now. It's comfortable now, meaning that they got movie time, right? They got CDs, they got music, they got computers, they got things to make you really, really comfortable, to keep you coming back, to keep you coming back, to keep you coming back. That is not prison. Those are not prison. That's a 5-star hotel suite. That's all it is. You know? So, these are the things that you must look at. But this story blew my head right off. It blew my head right off, you know. And this was ever done 68 years, 15 years old, 1953, all the way to 2021. And, you know, the Creator left him here for a reason. And I want to say congratulations to the brother. And he's home with whatever family members that's still living, you know. Just imagine, you know, doing 68 years and everybody that you know, your mother, your father, your son, your daughters, everybody at that time, they are all gone. They are dead, and you are still living. Just imagine that. I know you can't imagine that. I know a lot of people can't imagine that, because a lot of people never been in that condition. They never been in that position, in condition. So they don't know. So this is why you are still faced with doing crime and procreating, because you think that it can't happen to you. But it could happen to you. It could happen to you. You know? So this is something to think about, man. I want to share that with you guys, you know, on this beautiful Sunday. And I learned just like you learned. He did stab somebody. He did commit a crime. But he said that he didn't kill nobody. In the heat in the moment, you don't know what you're doing. You stab somebody. You rolling with your crew. You stab somebody. You shoot somebody. And you think that you didn't do it. But you contribute to it, you know. And like they said, they all copped out. They all copped out. But they helped them get out. They helped them get out. So thank the Lord for that. You know. Thank the Lord for that. Thank the Lord for that, you know. But there's a message here. There's a message here. And the message said, can you do all that time? Can you do it? A lot of people can't even do a day. They can't even do the wide meat pins. You know, wide meat pins sitting there. The ball pin therapy. They can't even do that. You know, so it's something to think about, man. Before you know, calling people, dissing the dead, and calling people ops, and jumping in the car, or jumping on bikes or on scooters and everything else. Before you pull that trigger, ask yourself, can you do life in prison? Can you do what? 68 years to life. Can you do that? It's something to think about, something to talk about, you know what I mean? It's something to think about, you know? I don't do crime anymore. I don't do crime no more. I'm done with that. I don't do that anymore. So you guys have an amazing, amazing Sunday. Peace, y'all. Peace, 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 peace. Sister Fatima right there. Mwah, mwah. She got my back.